I'm going to go to Disney World.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Diz Quiz, the Disney game show for Disney fanatics. As always, I am your host, Tommy T, back here for episode 5. I got a really fun show for you this time around, and even though I cut down the number of questions we're doing, it ended up being my longest show ever, but that's because we were having so much fun with everything. So I won't waste too much time here at the top of the show. I do want to give a quick shout out for our social media feeds. I'm seeing a lot of growth, particularly on our Instagram channel lately, which is awesome to see. So if you're not following already, I encourage you to check us out on Instagram, as well as Twitter and Facebook, where I post a fun Disney video every single day. If social media is not your thing, no big deal. Subscribing on YouTube or Apple Podcasts is a great way to keep up with the show so you know when a new episode drops. That's it for now. Let's get into the show and meet our contestants. All right, so it's time to meet our contestants for this episode of the Diz Quiz. We've got Tony and John of the Disney Parks Podcast. Thanks for being here with me, guys.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So,
gymnastics.
Yes. So I want to get both you guys to introduce yourselves and tell everybody a little bit about what you've been up to. I know you're both on the Disney Parks Podcast, but then you've got your own stuff going on, books and websites and whatnot. So, Tony, why don't we start with you? Tell everybody about Disney by the Numbers and everything else.
Yeah, so I have a website called Disney by the Numbers. It's all facts about Disney. It's not just Disney World. It's Disneyland. It's the parks. It's the resorts. It's literally everything about Disney. I have a book, which I'll shamelessly plug. You can get this on Amazon, Disney by the Numbers.
Oh, geez. That's how you're going to play it? All right, fine.
Shameless self-promotion is allowed on this show. That's fair game.
All right, great.
I've been a Disney fan since 1976. That was my first trip. So I went every year thereafter, and now I live in Orlando, mere miles from the magic. So I get to go quite often, and I'm a Disney fanatic. I'll admit that. I'm Tony. I'm a Disney fanatic. I probably need some help.
Well, that's what this show's all for. That's what it's for, the Disney fanatics.
Back there.
Yeah.
Disney stuff over there. So, and then me and John do a podcast together, Disney Parks Podcast, where we talk about news and then interview people from the Disney community, whether they're Disney legends or books or authors or website developers or Etsy creators, whatever niche in the little Disney world they're trying to carve out.
Right.
So
Very
that's
cool.
me in a nutshell.
Great. And John, what about you?
Well, a lot of people know me as Park Hopper John. I come to you from www.parkhoppers.com. Sorry, I went into my spiel there. Park Hoppers is just a fan site. That's one of the things that we do. We've gotten away from it the last few months because it's been so busy. Is we focus on trying to come up with different ways to enjoy the parks. So you'll see a lot of talk. A lot of posts about Disney date nights. That's kind of the thing that we love to do because my wife and I, who lovingly goes by the nickname Park Hopper Sid, her name is Sarah Irene and our last name is Donahue, so she's Sid. We started the site, 6 years ago or so, and just to be a fan site, it's a place that we could share content with our spin on it. We would share pictures and stories. We share news, of course. We try to keep up on that. But really, just focusing on going to Disney as two adults with no children. For the longest time, I didn't know you could go to Disney with kids. Apparently, that's a thing. But we go all the time, and we like to go visit the different restaurants and the lounges and spend time with our friends there. And then a couple years into the blog, I met Tony at the 5th year celebration for Expedition Everest. Mm-hmm. And we started talking, becoming friends, and he invited me to be his co-host on the podcast, and that's been going for a long time. Basically, I love Disney, but I'm a late comer to the Disney game. I actually didn't start going to Disney until 11 years ago. And I know, right? It's crazy. And, I love Disney. I'm a huge Walt Disney fan. My character is Stitch, whereas Tony's character is definitely Buzz Lightyear because he's eat up with the Buzz. So it's just a lot of fun. I've got to meet a lot of friends, a lot of lifelong friends. Sarah is a runner. Sid is a runner. So she and I have both done a lot of the Disney races. Sarah's done way more than I have because she's really good at it. I'm not. That's who I am.
Great. Awesome. Well, it's great to have you guys here. And so you've been podcasting for a little while now. You guys know each other a little bit. Do you have any predictions on who you think is going to come out on top here today?
It's going to literally be a murder, and Tony will be standing above my lifeless corpse at the end because his website is Disney by the numbers. How can he not have all the facts?
That's not true. If it's about like movies or parks or something,
I'll tell
I
you.
may not know anything.
Let's go over the rules then. So we got all of it.
Okay. All right. So I'm curious now.
So we've got 40 total questions in today's Disney Battle of Knowledge. 4 rounds, 5 questions per contestant per round.
Oh,
so for the first 2 rounds, first 2 categories, there'll be a 50-50 component to it. So there's only 2 possible answers that I'll give you.
Okay.
And in these rounds, questions are worth 1 point. But in the second 2 rounds, no more 50-50, and questions are worth 2 points. In addition to that, if you get the question wrong, your opponent can steal the question. So that's only in the second 2 rounds.
Dang.
All right.
That's going to be brutal.
Bring it on. Bring on.
All right. Well,
Disney.
since Tony's so confident, does he want to go first?
Yes, he does.
Okay, Tony's going first.
Age before beauty, buddy. That's the way that works.
Go ahead. Fire at will.
All right. Our first category here is true or false, and it's Walt Disney World only. So we're talking Walt Disney World.
All right.
Question 1 for you, Tony. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. There was once a Sonic the Hedgehog display at Innoventions in Epcot. True or false?
True.
That is true.
Oh, I was not. Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah, there was. They had
I was
all
trying to
these.
throw him off.
They had all these Sega Genesis consoles and this big Sonic statue. You can find a video of it up on YouTube. I had to see it for myself. Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny,
All
considering
right.
what's going on down the road.
Yeah. So this was back in the '90s, though. So I guess Disney they missed their chance to get in on the video game thing
All
back
that-
then.
Yeah, it's back in the 90s. Everything went back then. Iser was like, whatever, let's do
Yeah, you
it.
put it in. If it exists, it can go in the parks.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, question 2. Walt Disney World is larger than New York City. True or false?
True.
That is false. It's Walt Disney World is 40 square miles, but New York City is 300 square miles. You might be thinking of Manhattan. It's about the size of Manhattan.
That's what I was thinking of.
But
Manhattan.
all 5 boroughs are bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That's good.
Next question. Disney originally wanted the Rolling Stones to be the theme for the Rock and Roller Coaster.
I'm gonna say false.
That was true. They did approach the Stones, but they were too expensive. As you could imagine, the Stones do like their money.
They may be able to come back now
They might.
because we're hearing that Aerosmith is out.
Yeah, I think Aerosmith at the time was really smart to do it for whatever. Yeah. Even if they did it for next to nothing, it probably helped their longevity quite a bit, especially with younger people getting into it. But
can you imagine what that pre-show would have been like
with Mick Jagger coming in?
Hey
man.
guys, what's going on?
We've been walking like a chicken in there.
Keith Richards just collapsed somewhere in the background.
I'm gonna go to the club. We need a stretch.
Sugar.
That would have been awful.
That's the worst Mick Jagger impression ever. All right.
All right, next one up. The Liberty Bell in Liberty Square is an exact replica of the original.
I'm going to say yes.
Got it. That's true. Uses the same exact mold and everything.
Because it does have the crack.
It does. Yep. Yeah, I think they put the crack in there. I think there's they molded it from the cracked version. So they made a mold out of that version, and then and they made this one out of it. All right, and the last one for this round for you, Tony, is the Stave Church in Norway Pavilion is a real one from Norway that dismantled it and shipped it over and reassembled it in Epcot? True or false?
Now, that is something Disney would do. Would they have done that back then? I'm going to say false.
You got it. It's false. You're right that it does sound like, that's why I put it in there, because it does sound like something they do, but it's a replica.
Yeah.
That's before Joe Rohde got in and just walked in and was like, I want that. We want to buy your whole neighborhood.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we want to buy your country.
Right.
We want to buy your country.
How much for your
we'll
country?
do it better. We'll do your country better than you do.
Yeah. Back in the well, that would have been the late 70s. I don't think they would have dismantled something from Norway.
Yeah, especially not a church, and there's all kinds of implications there.
Yeah. All
right, John. You
Yes,
are
sir.
up.
Okay.
All right, so the first question for you here in Disney World, true or false? We got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. Or actually, the day I'm posting this show will be the day the Super Bowl is on. So this question is, the first person to say, I'm going to Disney World after winning the Super Bowl was Joe Montana. True or false?
It's a toughie.
I'm going to say false.
That is false.
Was it Joe Namath?
It was not Joe Namath. It was Phil Simms of my New York Giants.
Yeah. You're a Giants fan?
I am.
Coming from
from New
Boston?
York.
I'm from New York originally, so...
All right. Well, thank you for not being a bandwagon Patriots fan.
No, that I can't do.
All right. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, next question. The Prince Charming Regal Carousel was originally built in 1917.
Repeat the question. I'm kidding.
It's in there.
I know it is. That's what's killing me. I'm going to say true.
That is true. Excuse me, just need a sip of water. So going along with the Super Bowl theme, it was built by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company in 1917.
Yep.
I think it was at first at a Detroit amusement park and then ended up in New Jersey for a long time. And then it was bought by Disney in the right when they built Disney World.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now, that's something they packed up and moved.
Yes. So I wanted to get those questions in different for each of you, so you might be. I should have put that one first. I might have fooled you if I put that one in first.
The Imagineers were like, no, I'm not building a carousel. No. There's plenty of them. Just buy one of those.
Pretty much. All right, next question. The Astro Orbiter was originally named Starjets.
Oh, God.
You would have had to have been there in 1976 to know this.
Well, it would have been 1971, wouldn't it? Was it 76?
71, but it was still there in 76 named
Starjet. I'm going to say, I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say that is true.
It is true. It was called Starjets until 1994 when they rebranded Tomorrowland. And it became Astro Orbiter.
When it became Retroland.
Yeah, when they did that whole Tomorrow, what do they call it? Tomorrow That Never Was Tomorrowland, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And will never be.
And we'll never be.
That went really well. That went really, really well.
You didn't do too bad.
Well, it's still there,
Nope.
so.
Still in it to win it. Got another question, right?
Here we go. Yep. Next question is, Captain EO was directed by Steven Spielberg. True or false?
False.
False is correct. Can you tell me who directed it?
It was directed by,
You should know this.
Martin Scorsese? No.
Close.
Joe Dante? No.
Nope.
Hang on. Who directed it?
It was Francis Ford Coppola.
Dang, I was close.
Produced by
That's
George
right.
Lucas.
Yep.
I saw his face and I was like,
He's close to Scorsese.
someone of Italian descent.
That's correct.
That is
That is
correct.
There wasn't a bonus point on there, so I figured I was okay.
Us guineas like making movies.
No comment. I'm Irish, so I got to keep my mouth shut.
All right, John, last one for you in this category. Toy Story Midway Mania was the first Disney attraction based on a Pixar movie.
Toy Story Midway Mania was
The first Disney attraction based on a Pixar movie?
Not the first attraction. That is false.
Correct. Of course, we had Buzz Lightyear way back.
Yep.
All right, well, John pulled ahead with this one. 5-3 here is where we're at.
Ooh.
But we've got a good chance for Tony here to pull ahead. A new rule that I'm introducing, and this isn't really a rule, but it's just a formality, is that for each round, the person that's behind is going to go first to create a little bit more excitement. Because in previous shows they didn't do that, and especially for the last round, if the person gets way ahead, it's not as much fun at the end there. So Tony, you'll be up first in the next category, and this one is called Which is Bigger? So I will give you two things, and you'll have to tell me which one has the greatest number. So you might have an advantage here, but we'll see.
This ought to be exciting.
So for example,
this show is rigged. This show is rigged.
The numbers guy will fail. All right, go ahead.
All right,
Will.
So the first question we have here for you, Tony. The Big Thunder Mountain Railroad top speed or the Space Mountain top speed?
See, now Big Thunder gets more speed in the late day because of the heat of the track.
Right.
The expansion of the metal. What would Disney have said? I'm going to say Space Mountain.
It's actually Big Thunder. Oh, no.
Should have gone with my gut.
You should have gone with your gut.
My gut was telling me Big Thunder.
All right, next question. Stops on the Disneyland Railroad or stops on the Walt Disney World Railroad? Which has more?
I'm going to say Walt Disney World.
Ooh, man, he's 0 for 2. This is rough.
Really?
So
Disneyland
in Walt Disney World, we have Main Street USA, we have Frontierland, and we have, what do they call it, Storybook Circus now? Or is it
Storybook Circus?
But then in Disneyland, we have Main Street USA, we have Liberty Square, we have Fantasyland Station, and the Tomorrowland Station.
I forgot about the Tomorrow one.
It's got the Tomorrowland Station.
Yeah.
I've only ridden the train at Disneyland once. I would have failed on that one too.
Monorail only stopped there, not the train.
Right, yeah, you got both going on there.
Yeah. My bad. And they're actually almost above each other.
Right. Yeah, that's a Walt thing, having all the kinetic stuff moving around in one spot.
All
right. How about this one? All right, we got species in Animal Kingdom versus carvings on the Tree of Life. So different species of animal you can find versus the number of animal carvings you can find on the Tree of Life.
I'm going to say it was easier for them to carve up the tree than it was to put real things in the park. So I'm going to say the tree.
You got it.
It's close, your favorite part,
It's close,
buddy.
though. You've got around 250 species. You've got around 250 animal species, but over 300 carvings on the tree. So it's close, but the tree gets it. All right, next question. Disneyland's acreage versus Disney Hollywood Studios acreage.
Wow.
All right. Disneyland is
and let's assume with the Star Wars land space, like let's say pre-Star Wars, everything's shutting down for Star Wars because it's kind of not a fair time to ask any questions about that park. But it's full potential for Disney Hollywood Studios.
So Disneyland or the studios? Trying to think, which one do I wear out my sneakers in quicker? I'm gonna say Disneyland.
Actually, the studios, you wouldn't think, but they got a lot of stuff packed in there in Disneyland.
Wow. Okay.
Into a smaller space. All right, next question. I guess this is the last one for you, right? We had 1, 2. Yep. All right, so last question here. Calories in a turkey leg versus calories in a Mickey bar.
There's none in either one.
Of course not.
I am gonna. There's a lot of chocolate on there, plus the ice cream. But a turkey leg is like a whole turkey on a leg on a stick. I'm gonna say the
It's
turkey
emu.
leg. Emu, yeah.
It's turkey leg, and it's not even close. Actually, it's 1,000 calories versus 300.
Wow.
Yeah.
On a turkey leg, there's 300 or 1,000 calories.
Yeah. That's all.
Well, look at that. I can eat 3 Mickey bars or 1 turkey leg.
Yep. There you go.
I'd go for the Mickey bars myself.
Yeah, me too. All right.
Who doesn't like ice cream?
Yeah. Well, unless you're dairy intolerant.
Lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
All right.
Tryptophan
Well,
allergy.
you got only 2 out of 5 on that one. You got 3 of them wrong, but still a lot of game to play here.
I'm killing it.
I need to hang on for 1 second because this happens once a show. I have one. Well, I guess I already have my one bad thing happen with the camera there, but now I feel like I'm missing a question, and that cannot be. I tell you guys, it's harder than it looks to run this thing.
Sir? Yeah. On page 64.
Okay, I found the one that I missed. All right, so I know what it is. All right, John, you ready to go?
C.
All right, so we've got a similar question to Tony's first one to lead it off. The top speed of the Rock and Roller Coaster or the top speed of Test Track? Which one is bigger?
Wow. Well, they advertised 0 to 60 on Rock and Roller Coaster, but then the top speed is often well over 60 on Test Track. So I'm going to say Test Track.
You got it. Test Track also often advertised as the longest and fastest ride in Walt Disney World. All right, this one's a crazy one. This one's a little bit out there.
Okay.
So stick with me. It's the distance from Disneyland to Disneyland Paris, or the distance from Disneyland to Disneyland Tokyo. And this is distance as the bird flies, as they say. So straight line from Disneyland to Paris or Disneyland to Tokyo.
Going which way?
The shortest way. So I'll tell you that the shortest way for both is it's an opposite direction. So it's going east towards Paris or west towards
because I could rig that answer and be right.
There you go.
I will say from Disneyland to Disneyland Paris or from Disneyland to Disneyland Tokyo. You said
right.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Disneyland Tokyo.
Paris actually has it by about 166 miles.
Wow.
It's pretty close. I couldn't believe how close it was. I was like, oh, one of these will be way bigger, but it was close.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's a good question.
A fun one. Yeah.
I was doing the air miles in my head. I'm like, okay, so it's 6 across the country and 9 across the ocean.
Right.
And then I forgot there's 2 more hours. Anyway, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
No, that's okay. That's a good question.
Yeah, thanks. All right, next one up. Restaurants in Disney Animal Kingdom or restaurants in Disney's Hollywood Studios. And this is sit-down reservation table service restaurants.
So sit-down reservation restaurants in Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom versus the studios.
Holy crud. Let's see. Is there a time limit?
There's a time limit if we start Googling.
The question is how many, which has more, Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom?
Right, which have more?
I'm going to say Animal Kingdom.
It is actually Disney's Hollywood Studios. I couldn't believe it myself. Because you would think, I think there's actually more Hollywood Studios restaurants than there are Hollywood Studios rides at this point.
Yeah.
That is actually accurate. So I was trying to think.
let's go through them.
Yak
So
and Yeti,
Yak and
Tusker
Yeti,
House, and
Tiffin's, and Rainforest Cafe.
Rainforest Cafe.
But either way, we have 5 at Hollywood Studios. So we've got,
well, hang on. So
let's see if you can get
Round Derby.
Yep.
Round Derby, Hollywood and Vine. The one where you get yelled at, put your finger.
50's prime time.
And then Mama Melrose.
And
what's?
Hold on. Brown Derby, Hollywood and Vine, 50's prime time, Mama Melrose. There's one more because I counted this like 4 times and I forgot to write this down.
Oh, no. Oh, Sci-Fi Diner.
Sci-Fi Dining. That's it. That's it. How could I forget?
That's the one I forgot.
That's the one we all forgot.
4.
Yeah, I was trying to think. It's like
Sci-Fi Diner.
Sci-Fi Diner. Yeah.
There you go.
And the food has actually gotten a little bit better in there recently.
I like it in there. It's a fun experience.
Yeah.
Have you tried the new Baseline Tap House?
I have. I was just there earlier this year, actually, and
it's awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah.
We went right at opening at 11 a.m. and got our 11 a.m. beer and cheese plate, and it was awesome.
and then the next thing I knew, it was closing.
Right. Somehow I was at the Norway Pavilion, and I don't know. So, I don't know what happened in between. But
all right.
Sitting on a bench with Mickey ears.
Yeah. All right. We got number of animatronics on the Haunted Mansion or number of animatronics on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, this is a trick question, or it could be.
Crap on a well, how could be a trick question?
I'll tell you after you answer.
I think I know what you're thinking, Tony, for the trick part of it.
So the number of animatronics, Hollywood or Haunted Mansion or Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yep.
I would say Pirates of the Caribbean.
You got it. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. Now,
because most of the moving figures in Haunted Mansion are not full animatronics. They're just like things that move. That's not
some of
really
them are, yeah. But even if, and I think what Tony might have been thinking, which I was thinking, is there's not 999 in the Haunted Mansion.
Right, there's 900, and there's a lot of animals in the Pirates, which are
a
also
lot of like more props,
and people differentiate the human ones from the animal ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because even Disney gives 2 different numbers. Well, there's blah 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 people, but then there's also blah 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 animals.
Right.
Yeah. Good question.
Thanks. Yeah. All right. So last one here for which is bigger is number of bricks in Cinderella Castle or number of triangular panels on Spaceship Earth.
Are you for real with that question right now?
I'm for real with this question.
You better answer this correctly.
Tony knows that.
I will go with the number of triangles because there are no bricks in Cinderella Castle.
You got it. My trick question was thwarted. It is made entirely of fiberglass, no bricks.
Yep.
I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
It wasn't last night. I had to put that one in there because that's always my favorite thing to say. I memorized the exact number of bricks in Cinderella Castle, and it's 0.
Yeah, it's 0.
Yeah, that's a great question when you're walking through. And, when you have family and they all want to go to the parks, like, can you count how many bricks there are? And all the kids are like, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, 0. And they're like, nuh-uh. I'm like, seriously. So cool.
All right, so that does it for the first half of the show here. So that's the end of 50-50. And now we're going to head into the second round. And for a score update, we've got Tony with 5 total and John with 8. However,
that's not that bad.
Yeah, and things can change pretty quickly here, and because everything's worth 2 points and they're stealing, so tables will turn fast. If you get 2 right, you're back in this thing. You steal 1 from John, you're back in this thing. So
tables have turned faster than
a lot of game left to play.
at the Brown Derby on a Friday night.
There you go.
Right.
All right, so I had to put one category in about the movies here, even though you guys are the Disney Parks podcast. We've got a movie category. And my theme for this one is the first 5. So we've got one question from each of the first 5 Disney animated films for each of you to go through.
Okay.
All right, so Tony, you're behind, so you'll be up first. Ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, so
Snow
first
White.
off, we got Snow White. Well, that is not the answer, however.
Okay.
The question is, which dwarf puts the key back on the hook when they're leaving the mine towards the beginning of the movie?
Oh, wow.
Oh, Schnikey. All right, there's 7 of them.
There's 7.
So
You have a 1 in 7 chance.
can't be Dopey because he wouldn't know what a key or a hook is. I'm gonna say Doc. He was always the responsible one.
Man, it was... Oh, wait. I get John a chance to guess here. I forget sometimes about the stealing. John?
Oh, I thought he would get it wrong, and then I would get a chance to.
Yes, you
Yeah,
get a
you
chance.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
now.
get a chance
Go
now,
ahead.
John.
Oh, so I get a chance?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you got a 1 out of 6 chance.
you got a 1 out of 6.
I'm going to say Dopey. I have no idea.
Man, it's Dopey.
Holy! I eliminated him
You
immediately.
eliminated it right away. But the whole joke of it is that the key is sitting there right outside the door. So that's why he's being Dopey in that scene, because the key is standing there right next to the door.
Good
All right,
one.
next one up, we've got Pinocchio.
Wood.
I'm a real boy.
All right, what is the name of Geppetto's cat?
Figaro.
Figaro, that one you knew. No problem there. All right. Next up, Fantasia. Who conducts the orchestra in Fantasia? Who is the conductor seen on screen?
I want to say the obvious answer.
No, don't embarrass me.
I'm gonna say Mickey Mouse.
It is not Mickey Mouse. John?
Is it Leonard Bernstein?
It's not Leonard Bernstein either. It is Leopold Stokowski and the Philadelphia Orchestra.
I could not remember.
That's a toughie.
It's the curtain parts, and then the actual human walks out. And,
Right.
And then goes in
Mickey
the
goes
cartoon
up
form.
and shakes his hand, which is what you
Right.
might have been thinking of,
Yeah.
but he does not conduct.
I'm just glad you didn't say Donald Duck.
No, I've seen Phil Magic maybe too many times.
Yeah, a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, in Filler Magic, he's the conductor. All right, next question for you, Tony. What song does Dumbo's mother sing to him in Dumbo?
Baby Mine.
Baby Mine. And the last one here.
Sorry.
During what season is Bambi born?
I am going to say the winter.
It is not winter.
Ooh.
John, I guess.
I will guess fall.
It's not fall either. I'm stumping you guys on this one today. It is spring.
See, that was my other choice, but I thought that he met Flower later on, and that was in spring.
Yeah, they all kind of use their Disney magic to make it all happen very quickly. So it's all
Yeah, I just
all
remember.
in
I just
spring.
remember Bambi on the ice.
Yeah.
Right. That's a
That's
little
what I
bit later
remember.
on.
Yeah, that was.
I was actually going to guess hunting.
That's a good
That
one.
would have been in the.
I might have
yeah.
I might have had to give you that one if you said it.
Man is in the wood.
Yes. Boom, boom. Oh, sorry.
Actually, man is in the wood.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I told that story on last week's show, so that's my
Yeah.
favorite little Walt stories.
Yep.
All right, so you did pick up 4 points there, but John stole 2 from you.
Ooh.
So they have the totals up here. We've got 9 to 10. So you closed in your gap a little bit, Tony, and you could steal some
Hey.
still from John. All right, John.
Good job, buddy. Yes, sir.
First one for you, Snow White. What does the queen ask the huntsman to bring back to her as proof of Snow White's death?
Isn't it her heart?
It is her heart. Before Disney became true lovey-dovey, gushy Disney, it was one of those brutal details left in from the Brothers Grimm fairy tale.
Yep.
All right, next one up for Pinocchio. What type of animal does Pinocchio turn into?
So many ways I can answer this question. A donkey?
Yeah, let's go with donkey on this one.
I was going to lovingly say a Tony Casanova.
A Dominic the donkey?
All right.
All right. Next one up. What is the first piece of Fantasia? What is the first classical piece in the original Fantasia?
Is it Rite of Spring?
It is not Rite of Spring. Tony?
Stairway to Heaven?
Rocky Mountain Breakdown?
Yeah. Dueling Banjos?
Unfortunately, Zeppelin was not in the repertoire in Fantasia, though I'd pay good money to see.
Yeah, they should do like a Pink Floyd version or something.
Yeah, Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin Fantasia, but it was actually Toccata and Fugue by J.S. Bach.
Holy mackerel.
No. I would not have guessed that in about a decade.
That is something I did not ever want to memorize, was the musical score of Fantasia. Maybe I'm going to have to now.
All right, next one for you, John. What is the name of the engine of the circus train that Dumbo travels in?
Casey Jr. running down the track.
That's an easy one for you. Casey Jr. And the last one here. What is the name of the faun that Bambi has a crush on?
Oh, God, I should know this one. The faun that Bambi has a crush on. Petunia?
It's not Petunia. Tony?
Say the question again.
What is the name of the faun that Bambi has a crush on?
I can see the scene. I'm going to say something like Dawn.
Not Dawn, actually.
It's Dawn the Faun.
Dawn the Faun. That's a good name, but it's Faline.
Faline. I don't remember them ever saying her name.
I think they do say it once. I had to look up the clip for the. I think Bambi's mother says, "Oh, that's Faline. Go talk to her."
Oh wow,
that's right. But Mom, I'd rather talk to Steve. Well, okay, all right.
I go talk to Flower or Thumper.
All right, so after
After
3 rounds, we're at 9 for Tony and 16 for John.
Ooh.
Picked up some big points in that round. So now we got a round that I'm excited about. It's our last one of the day.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to be fun. It's a little bit of a fun format. So it's called Who Am I? And this is all Walt Disney World. I'll describe an attraction as if I am that attraction. I think you'll get it pretty quickly. And you'll have to tell me what attraction I'm talking about. So, Tony, you're up first here.
Okay.
I am the world's first computer-controlled roller coaster. Who am I?
Walt Disney World only?
Yes, this is in Walt Disney World.
And the word roller coaster is in the description.
Yes.
Then I will have to, unfortunately, say Space Mountain.
You got it. Why, unfortunately?
Well, that could... All right, so they made a big deal out of Toy Story Mania having all these HP computers, but it's not a roller coaster.
Gotcha.
And there could be other things like Big Thunder that I think came before that, which is a coaster, but I don't think it was computer control. I think it's hydraulically
Space
control.
actually came before Big Thunder. I always we had that one on an earlier show, and it's a funny thing. You would think in my head, I always want to say it's Big Thunder every time, but I've trained myself now to know that it's Spaceman.
Okay, good.
All right, next one up. I am performed in the Theater of the Stars.
Beauty and the Beast.
Got it. Beauty and the Beast.
I'm a tale as old as time.
All right, next one up. My pre-show features actress Felicia Rashad.
Holy mackerel. She's still in a show somewhere?
She is in a pre-show.
She's got to be something in Epcot. I'm going to say Circle of Life.
It is not Circle of Life. John.
Can I steal?
You can
Am I allowed to steal?
Yes.
I'm Dinosaur.
It is Dinosaur.
Oh, that's right.
Pew, 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 pew.
Dr.
I have
Marsh.
not been on there in a long time.
Dr. Marsh Huxtable. That's right.
Right.
All right, Tony, next one up. I replaced World of Motion.
Test Track?
Test Track. All right. I am the only ride found in both the Magic Kingdom and California Adventure.
Magic Kingdom and California Adventure. No. Little Mermaid.
Got it. Took you a second, but you got there.
With or without Ursula's head?
I saw that today. That was
That's
something else. All right, so that brings you up to 17. So John's got 5 questions.
All right.
Let's see how he does. First one up. I bring you through the EAC.
I am do I have to get the nomenclature exactly correct?
No, I don't think so.
I am Finding Nemo, the Finding Nemo ride
Finding
into
our
the
ride, yeah, we'll take that.
yeah into the aquarium.
Yep. All right, next question. I'm the attraction that takes up more space than any other attraction in Walt Disney World.
I am the Safari at Animal Kingdom.
Safari. Got it. People say that I am haunted by a ghost named George.
I am the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean is correct. All right, we got a
If
couple
they don't
tricky
say
ones.
goodnight to him, he makes
Goodnight, yeah,
very...
makes the bad
Problems the
day.
next day.
That's right.
I thought it was a good morning. Or you have
I
to say
think
good night.
I think it's both. I think it's good morning
Both.
and good night. Yeah, and if you don't, then the next day it's not happy.
Yeah,
It's a 101 day for pirates.
Yep.
that's right.
All right, next one up. I offer 54 different combinations.
Baskin Robbins.
No, that's 33. No, it's 32. I offer 54 combinations. I am Toy Story Midway Mania.
It's not Midway Mania. Tony, you got a guess?
Star Tours.
Star Tours.
Nice.
And the last one here. You'll find me in the fictional kingdom of Anandapur.
You'll find me in the fictional kingdom of the one part of Animal Kingdom that Tony cannot say correctly. Now, are you looking for an
Or
attraction?
we'll visit.
Is an
You're
attraction,
looking for
yes.
an
These
attraction?
are all
That would be
attractions.
the Expedition Everest
Expedition
journey into the
Everest.
Forbidden Mountain
That's it. With the correct nomenclature and everything.
with the Disco Yeti.
Disco Yeti. I could have said I feature disco lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would That would be too.
I've been broken almost since I was made. And this guy with an earring won't fix me.
All right, well, that does it. I'm just doing my final count up here. 11, 13, 15. 17.
I did not fare so well.
You did not, unfortunately. John is our champion today. Congratulations, John. 26-19.
You had harder questions, Tony.
No, I had the same.
I feel like a couple of rounds it did happen that way where Tony had some harder ones.
Yeah.
It's the way it works, but that's sometimes just the way the chips fall. But this was a lot of fun.
I want a rematch.
We'll get you guys back on. This was the first time I had a duo on with some pre-existing chemistry, so this was a lot of fun to have you guys taking the jabs at each other. So so thanks for making it fun.
Yeah, good.
Sure, absolutely, anytime.
So tell everybody where they can find you. So look up Disney Parks Podcast. Where's the best spot, Tony?
DisneyParksPodcast.com, or we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Downcast, Upcast, TuneIn, Sidecast, whatever podcatcher you're using. But if you want to see all of our content and our stuff and our swag, it's all on DisneyParksPodcast.com.
Great. And then also check out Disney by the Numbers and is it Park Hopper? WW Park Hoppers.
WDW Park Hoppers, yeah. And don't forget to put the S on the end of it.
Park Hoppers.
Me and WW Park Hopper are gonna have a chat one of these days.
Maybe we have to bring them on to say once and for all who owns it.
That would be funny.
Oh, see that.
I'll look into that.
And I have a cautionary tale. When you purchase a domain, purchase the singular and the plural. I didn't do that, and I get mail from people that I have no idea what they're talking about, and I'm sure he gets mail from me too. So
good advice.
Yeah.
So you're like, kids, stay in school and buy all the right URLs. Life advice.
Right. That's right.
So that does it for episode 5 of the Diz Quiz. Congratulations to John on the win. Be sure to check out the Disney Parks Podcast as well as Disney by the Numbers, WDW Park Hoppers. Loved having Tony and John on the show. Hopefully have them back again in the future. Once again, like I said at the top of the show, check us out on social media if you'd like to see those daily Disney videos. And subscribing on YouTube and Apple Podcasts really means a lot. It helps the community grow. And it's great to have you here with us. Till next time, I've been Tommy T. Thank you for watching, and we will see you real soon. Bye-bye.